This is a Hot Pie Media original.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the DNP-CD Sports podcast presented by Oddsshark. I'm Chad Fisher alongside my co-host, Tony Farmer. What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good today, man. Fresh off our episode with John Stockton. That was a lot of fun last week, and excited to talk a little NFL football today, man.
Yeah, man. We got to kind of collect ourselves a little bit after that interview. We're going to do like a little solo episode, man, so we can get some fresh hot takes in, man.
Yeah.
It's nice when we don't have a guest sometimes, man, so we can kind of talk some shit.
Yeah, man. The guests are a lot of fun, but I feel like you and I kind of get a chance to let our personalities show a little bit, let our opinions out there, and people seem to enjoy that from the last time we did this.
I got high as shit before this show, man, so I don't know how much personality I'm going to have today, man. I don't take a nap. That's what I want to do, motherfucker. I'm going to be honest with you.
Hopefully the camera doesn't zoom in too much on your bloodshot eyes.
Oh, no. I put some eye drops in. I'm not a rookie.
He's like,
over
I'm
here.
a professional.
I'm not
I
a
put
rookie.
eye drops in.
Yeah, I flossed and put some eye drops in before the show started, man, so I'm good. I'm good. Before we get started, man, let's tell everybody about Oddsshark.
Yeah, man, we absolutely love Oddsshark on this show, and Chad's going to read you a little bit about him.
Yeah, Oddsshark is your source for the latest odds from leading authorities, expert editorial content, the hottest sports news, and detailed matchup picks. Are you looking for statistics and trends for an upcoming game? Oddsshark has that too, and it's free. In-depth expert analysis, odds, and trends to help you make the sharp game day picks. They got decades of stats in their databases, and their insiders give you takes so hot they sizzle. They're your one-stop shop for all your odds info on sports and pop culture events. So if you want to get a better understanding of the odds and the math behind the numbers, how the line is set, why the lines move during the week on the NFL odds list, Oddsshark will give you all the tools you need. They're a proven industry powerhouse. They have info from around the globe, giving you the chance to access the best sports odds on the planet. Whether you want to check out tonight's football odds, this week's hockey or basketball trends, or anything in between, head on over to Oddsshark and start thinking like a shark today. We're going to do a little using that resource to talk about some betting, some futures coming up here soon, brother.
Yeah,
right?
we adore Oddsshark on this show.
Well,
and
we're in love with them.
We absolutely are. And before we, Chad's going to say a few things that are on his mind about some things in current event and sports. But after that, when we're going through these lines, we want you to know we're actually using the Oddsshark website on our laptop to tell you what the latest numbers are. Because remember, they move, especially in the NFL from day to day. They move
all the time.
From time to time. You can track that line movement. And so as we're talking about that, we want you to know we're using that resource real time, and we think you should be using that resource. If you're putting your money down on bets, make sure you're using Oddsshark, because it's an awesome resource, not just for the numbers that we mentioned, but they've also got great articles on there as well. Love them during the football season. And we're here. We're in the middle of preseason right now. We're a couple weeks away from week 1, and it's time to start using that resource and make yourself a little money. Yeah,
everybody's doing their fantasy drafts and everything like that as well. Talked to some friends that were getting ready to do that this weekend and everything.
Yep.
My orthodontist was telling me yesterday, man, him and his buddies are renting out like an Airbnb. I was like, dog, I need to get in on this. You got one more spot left? I'm trying to come get drunk for a weekend.
Wait, for a fantasy draft?
Yeah, fantasy draft. Yeah, I'm like, dude, I'd join a fantasy league if we were doing fun shit like that.
All right, speaking of fun things in fantasy drafts, Chad, I read 2 stories this week I want to run by you.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people like to have fantasy leagues, and instead of like having a trophy for the winner, or in addition to having a trophy for the winner, you got to have a penalty prize for the loser.
Mm-hmm.
So the 2 coolest ones I heard this week, one was one league has whoever loses has to stay in a Waffle House for 24 hours because they're open 24 hours.
Fuck that.
And you can knock an hour off your time for every waffle you eat while you're there.
Fuck. Damn, dog. Can you go to the parking lot to smoke weed?
No, man. You got to stay inside.
That's messed up, man.
Stay inside the whole time. And the other one that I heard is the loser of a particular league has to take the SAT or ACT test.
No shit, dude. Fuck. The Waffle House wouldn't be that bad, man. You can go in the bathroom and hotbox that bitch, you know. If they say anything, just like, hey, man, I got kicked out, you know, sorry.
But all right,
smoke some weed. I can knock that down to about 6 hours.
And smoking is going to give you the munchies, which is going to help you get some more waffles in you. But what is your strategy, Chad? If you're in that situation, do you like eat 5 waffles for breakfast and then 5 more for lunch? Like, what's the total number of waffles you plan to eat in your, I don't know, 18 to 24 hours while you're there?
Oh, dude, I could smash 18 waffles in about 12 hours.
All right.
Easily.
Now, are you throwing syrup and strawberries and shit on there? Because that's taking up room in your stomach.
Yeah, but you got to get it. You got to like make it easier to eat. You know what I'm saying? You can't be eating dry ass waffles.
Dude, we need to get an eating competition person on here to help us sort through the strategy.
I feel like I'm in those motherfuckers after I get high. You know, I can throw down some food. You give me a couple joints. Oh, it's over. I can eat 24 waffles.
So you're just as soon as you get in your first hour, just 24.
I don't know about that. I'm gonna have to take a break. I'm gonna have to take a nap in one of the little one of the booths. I'm like, hey, Rachel, listen here. I'm gonna be napping over here after I pound these waffles. You know, maybe falling asleep to some Bob Ross or some shit. But don't mind me. You know,
what a great penalty prize though.
It's not that bad.
Are you serious?
That's not that bad.
Come on,
I can do that.
Well, I don't eat Waffle House.
I don't either.
I don't eat that bullshit. So I was like, that I'd be terrified. That would motivate me not to lose. That's for damn sure.
You'd be fucking spending hours upon hours, like fucking researching and shit.
Not getting any sleep.
Yeah. I feel you, man. That's not that bad. I could do that.
Ooh, man. How about the ACT, SAT, man?
Fuck that.
Yeah.
You just got to take it? That's it. Oh, it's just A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. That's all I do. You got to get a certain score on it or anything. Fuck that.
Isn't your pride gonna like, you don't care? You're just gonna walk out of there as a fucking 37-year-old like bombing the SATs?
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I'm not trying to qualify for shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm from
my pride wouldn't let me. I'd have to put up.
Fuck that. You sitting there reading shit and everything. I'm good, man. These things are bullshit anyways.
No shit. I hear you on that. I agree.
I got a couple funny things, man, I want to talk about, dude. Did you hear about this shit about Jason Kidd last week or a couple weeks ago?
Vaguely, a little bit.
This shit is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life, man. So Giannis Antetokounmpo, a recent MVP of the finals, MVP of 2 years straight MVP in the NBA prior to last year. Great player and everything. He came out with a book, like an autobiography, or it's coming out. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But in the book, some of the funniest shit, man, is about Jason Kidd. He was the coach of the Bucks in the 2017-2018 season. And there's some funny ass things about this guy. I think a lot of people knew that Jason Kidd was a goofball, but I don't know if they knew to what level he was a goofball.
Okay.
And this is some funny ass shit, man. So supposedly Jason Kidd has like this unhealthy obsession with water parks.
What?
Yeah. The weirdest thing ever, man. Supposedly he would go eat lunch at a water park 4 times a day. And that's kind of sketchy to me, man. You know what I mean?
No joke.
First of all, they have the worst food of all time. Like no one, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather eat Waffle House than some fucking water park food and shit, you know?
Do we know if he was going on the rides or was it literally just for the
I think
food?
he was just going to eat and stare at whatever, you know.
Jeez,
I'm gonna leave that for the viewer to decide.
Yikes.
Whether he was looking at old single mothers,
yikes,
you know, or some other demographic of people.
Ooh, Jesus.
You know, it's kind of weird. It's fucking weird, right?
That's odd. Yeah,
what's even weirder is this story here. Okay, so this was one of the Zellers. I don't know if it was Cody or Tyler, whoever the hell it was. One of those Zeller twins, brothers, whatever the hell. But anyway, so another thing was that he made them practice on Christmas Day, like a 4-hour practice, because they lost to the Hornets the night prior. And he asked them if they felt like they deserved the day off. And it's like, dog, it's Christmas.
Yikes.
And so he was like, yeah, I'll see you guys at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Everyone was pissed off. They came in, long-ass practice. People were throwing up and shit. It was like not good.
Oh.
Then they had to lift afterwards, and they had to run in the pool. All kinds of crazy shit, okay?
Ooh.
That's wild and everything like that. But let's get onto the water parks, because that's the funny part, all right? So one of the Zeller brothers says, it's not that I don't enjoy water parks, but when someone is screaming at you to be his human inner tube for every ride in the park, you start to wonder what this has to do with basketball. Yeah, dude. So human inner tube, that's like when you lay inside of them, right? When they're like this?
I guess so. That's
weird.
What I'm envisioning right now.
I mean, so that's one weird ass thing, right?
I'm gonna be honest, I've never heard human inner tube in any sort of context, I don't think, in my life.
I mean,
I'm having a hard time.
I mean, you can do that with like your son. You know what I mean? You can't do that with another grown man. I'm not doing that. I don't give a shit. You can cut my ass. I'm not doing that. But another player, this is where it gets even weirder. Another player who wishes to remain anonymous reported that Kidd had an unhealthy obsession with water parks and would eat lunch at Pelican Cove Water Park 4 days a week. That's crazy. They were probably only open 4 days a week. He wanted to go 7. So he's like, y'all motherfuckers need to. It was in Milwaukee. How often is this place open, really? You know, unless it's like an indoor water park.
Is he alone? Is he with people? I got so many questions.
I got so many questions, though.
Wow.
And this anonymous source said, quote, we all thought it was because of the single moms, but I think he just really likes water parks. This is Chris Middleton said that. One time, this is hilarious. One time in a game against Chicago, we were down 2 with a minute left, and he calls a timeout. He starts drawing on the whiteboard, and we all think he's going to give us an inbounds play, but he turns the whiteboard around and says, quote, would this be a great water slide? My friends in New York all laughed at me when I showed it to them, but I made some tweaks to the exit so you land in a hot tub instead of a pool, which makes it so much more awesomer.
In the middle of a game?
It's down 2 with a minute to go.
Get the hell out of here.
And it gets even funnier, dude. Brandon Jennings looks at me and back at Coach Kidd and said, quote, "Coach, it's just a bunch of squiggly lines. We can't really tell what's going on." And then Coach started crying, but said it was just sweat, even though we all knew he was definitely crying. Dude, this is
real?
This is real, dude. This is in Giannis's autobiography.
Dude, if this was like an Onion story, it would be perfect.
You'd be like, oh yeah, that's hilarious. You know, that's pretty good. But yeah, he's drawing up squiggly lines that you land into a hot tub.
What?
Dude, this guy's insane, man. I hope it's just that he's obsessed with water. What's hilarious is that he never got his true calling. He so happened to be a great NBA player, a mediocre coach, but what he really wants to do is design water slides. Wow. That's fucking hilarious, dude.
They got those video games where you can like make roller coasters and shit.
He's probably king of that shit.
Dude.
That's probably what he did his year off. You know what I'm saying?
That's bizarre.
That's the funniest shit I've ever seen, man.
Bizarre.
There's just a bunch of squiggly lines.
It's funny and concerning and just weird.
And what's hilarious, what's even funnier is that Brandon Jennings even like comments on this during the time. I like, Coach, we can't even give you an accurate assessment of this water slide because it's just a bunch of squiggly lines. And then he starts crying. Like, dog, what the fuck is wrong with you? You can't be crying over a water slide.
You know, they say like when you have addictions or drinking problems or whatever, they say like it starts to become a problem. How do you know when it's a problem? When it starts to like impact you at work.
Yeah,
you know?
There you go.
And so you'd make it fucking down by 2 in the middle of an NBA game. I'd say that's a problem.
I want to read this dude's contract and shit and see what it's got, like little anecdotes or like, you know, stipulations in his contracts. Like, you can only go to a water park twice a week, dude.
Wow.
We need you to fucking look at film from time to time, dude. Jason. Wow. Kid, you can't be spending all your time at water parks. We need you to run some walkthroughs from time to time.
That's bizarre. You know? And then how does it like just come out now in this book? Like people obviously not wanting to throw him under the bus.
Yeah.
If I knew that story about my boss, I'd be putting it out there.
It's a fraternity, man. They don't tell people.
That's true.
Tell people's business, man.
That's true.
But that's hilarious, dude. That's hilarious. And what if he put in a stipulation in his contract, like he gets a free pass to like 4, because Dallas probably got a lot of water parks. You know what I'm saying?
Who knows?
He's like, I want all the regional passes. I don't give a shit from Dallas down to Corpus Christi. I want a fucking membership for every water park. They're like, you're not even going to get down there. You know? How often are you in Austin? He's like, I don't give a shit. You know? Damn. If I want to scoot down I-35 and go to a water park, I'm going to do it. You know?
Dude, this is the weirdest thing I've ever heard from a head coach in any of the major sports. I'll tell you the second weirdest. You heard about Gabe Kapler? Any of the weird stuff like with his habits? All right, so Gabe Kapler, former Red Sox utility man, coach of the Giants. So he's like a big health nut. I remember at one point, like he made like his clubhouse like all organic. You weren't allowed to bring in like processed foods and all this stuff, right? But he's this health freak. As I am, I can empathize with him a little bit there.
Yeah, Tony's 64. No one would know. You could never tell. Motherfucker's been working out like really well, man. You've aged incredibly well, dude.
Thank you, Chad.
Yeah.
Coming up in my 70s soon. Mm-hmm. But no, he's really into health food stuff, but he also loves ice cream. So I heard from someone, you got to Google this yourself because I don't have the details off the top of my head. But I remember one of his former players said that he would buy ice cream all the time and he would lick the ice cream cone, but then he'd have a cup to spit the ice cream in because he loved the taste of ice cream so much, and he loved the texture, but he didn't want to actually get the calories.
Body's still absorbing some of that.
Some of it for sure, but he found a loophole apparently. So,
Jesus, dude.
Yeah, man.
He's like, no, I'm not going to eat the ice cream. I'm just going to bathe in it. It's totally different, man. You don't absorb those calories if you just
like lotion, you know, just like that was another weird one. But dude, everybody's got their thing. You know what I mean? We've all got our weird quirks. It's just funny when they're really weird like that, and they're a head coach of a team. Yeah. It's odd.
That's really strange, dude. That's funny as hell, man. Those two should get together, just like go to water parks and not eat ice cream, throw it in the trash can every time they get a little taste, you know?
Gabe Kapler could be the human inner tube for Jason Kidd as the ice cream.
Dude. This is one of the funniest stories I've ever heard in my life, man.
It's weird. It's hilarious, but it's weird.
And not only that, he said, this is what kills me is this quote, you know? Wouldn't this be a great water slide? My friends in New York all laughed at me when I showed it to them, but I made some tweaks. He's like, all right, I'm not quite there yet. All right. This hasn't passed the test of being, you know, palatable for human consumption just yet. I jumped the ball, you know.
And you got to assume his friends in New York made him cry the first time.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh, I'm sure. So this is probably 2 times he's cried. He's like, you know what? God damn it. I'm tired of made to feel like shit because my water park fucking the slides aren't up to par, you know.
Wow.
But then he says, He goes on to say, but I made some tweaks to the exit because maybe that's what was wrong with it. He's like, after that, he was like, oh, that's probably what was wrong with it. It was the exit that they were laughing at. Everything else was fine. It was just that damn exit. I knew I should have put a hot tub in that son of a bitch.
Wow.
Now let me test this out. And now he doesn't ask him this before the game or at halftime. Down 2 with a minute to go. He's like, this is a perfect time to get an opinion on my water slide.
That's bizarre. That's bizarre.
Yeah. And then
almost unbelievable. I mean, I believe it, but it's almost unbelievable.
So he said, but I made some tweaks to the exit so you land in a hot tub instead of a pool, which makes it so much awesomer.
I hope that's a direct quote.
This is, yeah.
I hope that's a direct quote.
This is something I expect my son to say in like 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Not Jason Kidd.
Your son is how old?
He's 10 months. This is something he's going to be like, hey, Dad, look, I know the last one wasn't that realistic, all right? But what I did was I added a hot tub, and then as soon as you get out, someone throws sprinkles in your mouth. What the fuck? This is what I would expect from my son. I'm like, damn, Van, that's pretty good, dude. Like, maybe one day he'll grow up to be, but if he's like 44 coming up with this shit, I'm like, dog, you might want to look into some other line of work.
Yeah.
Because I don't think designing water slides is your thing.
No.
And then Brandon Jennings looks at Chris Middleton, back at Coach Kidd and said, Coach, it's just a bunch of squiggly lines. We can't really tell what's going on. And then Coach started crying, but said it was just sweat. So they're like, dude, are you crying? He's like, no, man, it's just sweat. They're like, you're crying, dude. No, it's sweat. You're not even playing. How are you sweating? You know what I'm saying? No, it's just sweat.
Just out of your eye.
And then, but he said it was just sweat, even though we all knew he was definitely crying.
Damn.
That's the funniest shit.
Damn.
I don't want to tell you how many times I read this story, dude.
Dude, it sounds like a
10
Saturday
times.
Night Live skit.
Dude, yeah, I read it to my girlfriend. I read it to Gina, and we were both like dying laughing. This is the funniest shit.
That's ridiculous.
I've probably ever heard in my life. I'm never gonna forget this. And if I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan, I'm a little worried right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I gotta bring this up to some of my Mavs friends. I'm like, yo, man, what's going on with Coach?
That's bizarre.
If we ever, that's a good thing though. This is a good thing to know. If we ever want to get an interview with Jason Kidd, all we gotta do is go up to like Kalahari or some shit.
Bam.
Just hang out by one of the water slides.
Perfect.
Eventually we see him come walking around with like
no doubt.
bag of fucking curly fries and shit. We're like, hey, there he is, Coach. You want to be on the DNP-CD Sports podcast?
I love it.
We're not gonna talk about sports. We're gonna talk about water slides.
I love
Damn
it.
straight.
He's number 2 in assists, isn't he?
Yeah.
And then we get the number 1 guy
and number
assists,
2
and
in
number
steals too.
Bam.
So we just go down the line.
I
Like,
love
look, Jason, no big deal, but we've already had the number 1 guy. You'd kind of be like a step down for us, But we want to talk about your fucking crazy obsession with water. That's the funniest shit.
That's so weird, man.
One of the funniest stories I've ever heard.
Yeah, I agree. That's absolutely bizarre. You hear Tim Tebow got cut?
Yeah,
Jack?
dude, that's awesome, man.
I knew, dude. As soon as I saw that, I was like, somewhere.
Yeah.
Chad Fisher is smiling.
I'm surprised it took this long because you saw some of the video of him like trying to block and everything over the last couple of weeks. It was just awful. It was atrocious.
And they said Urban Meyer said the reason that he was cut was because he did not have special teams experience.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have tight end experience either. That didn't seem to fucking matter. Jesus.
It wasn't because he's not a football player. He's not a tight end. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's because he didn't have special teams.
He didn't
experience.
look like he wanted to hit anybody, man. He looked like if I went out there and tried to play.
That one block that went viral was pretty piss poor. There
was a couple.
Twitter.
There was like 2. The very next play was even worse.
Oh,
dude.
really? I only saw one.
He just got tossed aside like a rag doll.
No shit. Okay,
yeah, that dude did not want to hit anybody, man. He's just like, I don't know, man. That dude's so annoying. He's so self-righteous. I can't stand him. Well, I said in our previous episode, the reason why I don't like him. I've never really liked that jackass, but especially with some of the shit that he said about like people not wanting to go see Alabama. This is a quote that he said on NFL game or College Game Day, like a couple of years ago. It was like when a lot of the stands were empty and shit like that at some of these games and everything, and people were. Nick Saban was complaining and bitching a lot, because he's an asshole as well. But they're complaining and everything because students weren't coming to the games because they're playing like Western Carolina, who they're going to beat 63-0. Yeah. So no one wants to come sit in, September sun and watch this shit, watch a glorified scrimmage, And Tebow start going off on people like it's not their right to choose to not go to a damn game. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's like, oh, you should go. You're down there with daddy's money and everything. Like, who the hell are you, dude?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And his part, it just annoys the shit out of me, dude. I can't handle that dude. He's so annoying.
If you follow at DNP-CD Sports on Twitter, you saw a great quip from Chad after Tebow was released. He asked if Tebow was going to be playing disc golf next, now that his football career appears to be over. Is it over, Chad? I mean, can we...
Safely, hopefully, man. I'm sure he's going to be in the CFL next, you know what I'm saying? This is like that dude that you grew up with that wanted to be a NBA player his whole life. Then once he realized that wasn't happening, then he was like, oh, I'm going to be a rapper.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then he realized, like, you know, these things take work and talent. And he didn't have either of those. And then he was like, oh, I'm going to be an MMA fighter now. I've known so many dudes that are like that, you know what I mean, that you grew up with. They're like, I'm going to be an NBA. No, I'm a rapper now. Oh, no. Oh, here, I'm an MMA fighter now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Ridiculous.
So that's like Tebow. He's going to be on cornhole just because ESPN's got to deal with them. He's going to be on that shit. I'm like, fuck, Tebow mania.
Yeah.
Taking over Johnson's cornhole tournament shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully that dude's gone.
We can stop reading the Tim Tebow stories. I remember earlier you had predicted that maybe he'd stay with the team throughout the preseason to kind of keep the media distraction off of Trevor Lawrence and his progression. So I'm glad he was cut at this point and not a little bit
I think they realized that no one gives a shit about the Jacksonville Jaguars and that no one's going to care.
They're like, oh yeah, we have no media attention anyways. So.
Yeah, no one pays attention to the Jaguars and hasn't since Mark Brunell anyways, you know, so who gives a shit? But yeah, hopefully that dude's finally done. Hopefully ESPN isn't going to hire him, you know.
Don't be surprised though.
Hopefully they won't rehire him, you know what I mean? Because I just don't want to see that dude on anything anymore. Has he done Dancing with the Stars yet?
Shit, it's a good question.
I bet he has.
And it's next.
I guarantee you he probably already has. Let's look this shit up. He has to have, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no way. If not, you know, he's definitely doing
next. It. Yeah. Some like cooking show, maybe.
Yeah.
One of those cooking shows where it's like in the chef's kitchen and
doesn't make shit.
Slamming ingredients together.
Oh, in 2012, he passed on Dancing with the Stars. Well, he's about to hit them up. Like, hey, is the offer still on the table? Yeah. He'll be on that shit. Yeah. Not for too long. Or he'll be hosting some Christian dating show or some bullshit.
Don't be surprised.
No fingers for the first 7 dates, okay? Keep them fingers in your pockets till the 7 dates up. All right. I think
we can't go to first base yet because I never got to first base when I was in the minor leagues.
Yeah, that's true. I had a 213 average, motherfucker. You know?
Oh, geez Louise.
Yeah, so hopefully Tebow mania is fucking over.
Yeah.
That dude's the oldest, like, unsuccessful NFL tight end, like, you know what I'm saying? First time tight end of all time. I swear to God, he must know Urban Meyer's mistress or some shit. You know what I mean? That's the only plausible explanation for this is that he knows Urban, like, you know, I don't know, hit a midget with his car after one of those sugar bowls back in the day. And he was like, you know what, coach, I'll help you bury this shit and I won't ever tell anybody. He's like, well, you look like a tight end to me. You know, we can put you. Yeah, dude, who knows? But
who knows? Hopefully it's over with, man. Indeed. We're super proud to announce that the DNP-CD Sports podcast is now sponsored by BetterHelp. That's Better, H-E-L-P. Is there something interfering with your happiness or was preventing you from achieving your goals? I know I've been going to therapy, as I mentioned, for a year and a half, man. I go every Thursday, clockwork. I never miss, you know, go all the time. And it's amazing, man, what it's done for me. I wish I'd have done this sooner, to be honest with you, brother. I wish it wasn't as taboo of a subject and everything, and I would have gotten into this a lot sooner. I've been doing it for a year and a half. I wish I'd have started 10 years ago, man, because, like, the benefits that I've seen from this have been immeasurable. It's been great, man. BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. You can start communicating in under 48 hours. It's not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It is professional therapy done securely online. Yeah, their therapists have a broad ranges of expertise that are available that may not be available locally in your area. The services are available worldwide, so it doesn't matter where you are. And you can log into your account anytime and send a message to your therapist. That's 24 hours a day, folks. What a great resource. You'll get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions, so you won't ever have to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room as with traditional therapy. I know my therapist is probably happy I can't contact him 24/7. He'd probably be a little pissed about that. I'm going to be honest with you. Well, BetterHelp you can. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and free to change therapists if needed. It's more affordable than traditional offline therapy, and financial aid is available. Big deal. BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today. That's betterhelp.com. Yeah, and you can visit their website and read the testimonials, Chad. I know whenever I buy something, I don't care if it's a pair of shoes or if it's a service.
Yeah.
I want to read the reviews from the people who have used it. Man, I bought a pair of sandals, $40 pair of sandals. Shit broke. I wish I read the reviews a little bit more thoroughly and saw that was a cheap-ass pair of sandals.
I'm taking these back to Old Navy. I don't care.
Woo. Man, Old Navy. Get out of here, man. But for real, you got to read these reviews. Here's a couple right here. One says, Nancy, the person's therapist, Nancy is very understanding and relatable, so you feel like you aren't alone in your issues. I would highly recommend her if you are seeking ways to lower your anxiety. Another person said, she was very sweet, a great listener, and very easy to talk to. She allowed me to open up without any judgment and provided a safe environment. And that's so important with your therapist, to provide that safe environment so that you feel comfortable talking to them. And the folks over at BetterHelp do a great job of that. That website that I read those testimonials from was betterhelp.com/reviews. And if you visit betterhelp.com/DNP, that's BetterHelp, .com/DNP, you can join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional.
Yeah, BetterHelp is becoming so popular that they're actually recruiting they're recruiting additional therapists in all 50 states, which is crazy. We have a special offer for our podcast listeners. If you go to BetterHelp, that's HELP.com/DNP, as in did not play, you're going to get a special offer, which is 10% off your first month. That's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, sure is, man. I used to work on college campuses for a couple of years. And so I oversaw some residence halls, and very often I would meet with students and they were going through a hard time. And I would always recommend them to the Health and Counseling Center, right, where they could get counseling. And man, I had, dozens of students over the years come back and say, thank you so much. Because they had never, they're 18, 19 years old. A lot of them have never gone through therapy before. Yeah. And they saw the power that was able to help them with throughout their time in college. And so it's a fantastic resource.
Yeah, man. People are starting to understand now how important mental health is.
Yeah.
This is why we're so excited to be partnering with BetterHelp, because it is very, very important. It's no longer taboo to talk about. You go out and work out, you're eating right. You also got to make sure you're taking care of your mental aspect as well, man. You need to talk to someone. A lot of people have been through past traumas, or they've got things that they're dealing with in their everyday life, stress at work, divorce, breakup with a loved one, loss of a loved one. I've experienced loss in my life that has definitely been hard to overcome. And it's normal and it's natural for people to go through this stuff. What's not normal is not getting help and allow this trauma to accumulate and to affect your personal life, affect your parenting, affect your relationships. Very, very important. I know when I became a dad, it was very important for me to start getting my mental health in order and everything. And I'm so glad that I did, man, because it's been a huge boost. I feel so much better. I'm so much more confident. I'm so much happier. I look forward to my session every Thursday with my therapist, man, because I know I get to, figure out some things about myself. And even at 37, I'm just now starting to figure out. I'm first-time dad. Got a 10-month-old son, man. There's a lot of things I didn't know about myself that I'm figuring out through therapy.
It's awesome.
And it's awesome, man. Yeah, that's why we couldn't be happier to be sponsored by BetterHelp.
Well, like you said, man, the stigma is gone. The days of like, I'm a manly man and I'm so masculine, I don't ask for help. Those days are over. It's 2021. It's okay to ask for help. We need to ask for help. It's super important. Yeah. And even if you're not going through a crisis, just that day-to-day maintenance.
Yeah.
Even if you're not going through a divorce, even if you don't have severe anxiety, that day-to-day maintenance to be proactive so that you don't end up in a poor mental health situation.
Yeah, that stuff can accumulate, can mask itself with a variety of problems, substance abuse, in your relationships, the way you treat other people and stuff, man. So it's so important, man. So that's why we wanted to encourage you to go to BetterHelp. That's HELP.com/DNP. And you're going to get 10% off your first month. Super excited to have partner with them. Make sure you guys check that out. BetterHelp.com/DNP. So you want to do some betting stuff here, bro?
Yeah, man. Let's talk about week one. It's that Sunday of week one is literally my favorite day of the whole year. I swear to God, more than Christmas, more than my birthday.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in Vegas for it. I do this every year. I go out there.
That's awesome.
And I just love talking about this stuff, man, because there's so much anticipation for that week one. How are the rookies going to do? How are the new head coaches going to do? New free agents.
It's a whole new season, man. You're waiting to find out what teams are, who they are. Yeah. And a lot of people still base their assessment of teams from the prior year.
True.
And so there's always a lot of surprises too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So much fun to talk about. So First game I see on tap is Dallas at Tampa. Pretty cool Thursday night game to start the week.
That's
off.
awesome, man.
We got the line opened at -6. It went up to 6.5, and now in some places it's -7 with the Bucs as a 7-point favorite.
I would take that. I would take the Bucs.
The Bucs to cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I'm looking at it, man, I'm looking at this as a teaser opportunity.
Yeah.
Because when the spread is, say, 6.5 right now, if I can tease that down 6 points, now all Tampa's got to do is win, and I can pair that with another game that I like to tease as well. So if I touch that game, that's probably what I'm going to do. That Dallas defense is so bad, Chad. They're giving up 5 yards a carry. Why wouldn't you just run the ball every single time against them?
Save your wide receivers, save your quarterback, just run for 300 yards if you can. They were historically bad last year.
Yeah.
They got a new defensive coordinator in Dan Quinn. I don't know. I mean, obviously, Micah Parsons out of Penn State was their first round pick. He looks like he's going to be pretty good, but that's one of 11,
Yep, absolutely.
They still got a lot of holes to fill.
For sure. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a game where Dallas kept it somewhat close in the first half because both teams are still kind of feeling things out, shaking the rust off, and then have Tampa pull away. So if you've got a gun to my head and I've got to place a bet just on that line, I would say Tampa as well, but I'm probably not going to bet it in that way. I'm probably going to throw it in a teaser. But then this is why we say you got to shop around for the best line. Most NFL games statistically are either going to be won by exactly 3 points or won by exactly 7. And if you've got lines, some are 6.5 and some are 7. Obviously, if you want Dallas, take the 6.5. If you think, if you want Tampa, take the 6.5. If you think Dallas is going to cover, take the 7 because that extra half point might come in handy for sure.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm kind of surprised it's so low, to be honest. I mean, I know that's like a large spread in the NFL.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying with Dallas, as bad as their defense is, that being in Tampa, Dak probably being a little rusty,
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see, but I think I can see Tampa winning that by 2 touchdowns even.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't. Another thing to keep in mind with this game is the heat in Tampa. And granted, Dallas isn't like a cold weather place, so they're going to be a little bit more accustomed to the heat. But still, that Florida heat catches
different.
People off guard.
A little different.
And so perhaps Dallas will get worn down. Traveling a little bit east, when teams, from the middle of the country or from the west travel east and have that heat hit them.
Yeah.
Time zone change as well. That could be trouble for Dallas as well. There's gonna be a lot of hype in this game because obviously you got the Super Bowl champions coming back and you got Dak coming back for Dallas. And so it's gonna be a fun game to watch. I'm not betting it straight up. If that line moves, I guess if it moved to 7.5 with Dallas, it's tempting to get that hook, but I still like the tease is the way to go with that, I think.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad bet whatsoever, man.
For sure. What do we got next, Chad?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you were doing that. My bad, brother. Why don't you tell us what we got next, man?
All right, next we got Arizona.
I was like, dog, is this a pop quiz? What the hell's going on, man? I don't remember saying I was doing anything. I thought this was all on you.
Oh, got you. I got you. We got Arizona at Tennessee. This is one of the more interesting games in my opinion.
What's the line? Yeah.
So opened at 1.5 with Tennessee as a 1.5 point favorite.
Yeah.
Now we're getting all this hype about Julio Jones, right? And people are getting excited about Julio Jones and Derrick Henry in the offense together. And so it's gone from 1.5 to that key number of 3.
Mm-hmm.
I like Arizona more than most people. I like Arizona a lot. I like them getting J.J. Watt. I love their friggin' wide receivers.
If he can stay healthy, that's the only thing, man, with J.J. Watt. Dude's always injured.
You're right. But week 1, I actually put a little bit of a premium almost on some of these teams that have injury-prone players because it's like,
they're going to be at least healthy this week.
Exactly.
Though.
It's like later in the season, I might not like you for the whole season. You're probably not going to be healthy by the playoffs, but you're good
First
now.
Week,
so hell yeah, I'm all over you.
J.J. Watt's good for about 8 games a year.
Seriously.
For some
at least 2 injuries.
Tears something, So,
for sure. But I like Arizona a lot. I hate their head coach. I do not think highly of Kingsbury. Okay.
Yeah.
But Arizona has gotten off to a fast start in recent history. I like Kyler Murray a lot. That key number of 3 is interesting. I'm probably going to hold out and see where this line moves. If I can get 3.5 with Arizona, I'm going to take that and be happy to take it.
Yeah.
Would love to tease that up through the key number of 7. So if it's at 3 right now, we'll add 6 points on it. Now we got +9 for Arizona. So we've already got a teaser here, folks. Arizona +9 and Dallas -0.5 point, which is basically Dallas winning.
Yeah.
And that can win you about even money on a 2-game teaser.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling that.
I think that's a decent bet. Yeah, Arizona. I think they're a decent team. Tennessee. You don't really know what you have with them. Sometimes I thought, the last couple of years have been like a little flukish, the 2 years ago, definitely. And I feel like they're going to come back down to earth. I'm just also not a big Mike Vrabel fan, obviously.
Sure. Yeah.
Ohio State guy. Of course, I hate that son of a bitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
He just seems like an asshole, I don't know.
Yeah.
He just seems like a jackass.
Yeah.
So,
For sure. I could see that be a high scoring game too. You got two offenses that are potentially quite powerful. Arizona running that no huddle bullshit.
Yeah.
So that's going to give them more plays with that high powered offense. And then you got Tannehill, you got Derrick Henry, you got Julio Jones on the other side.
Yeah.
Whatever the over is, I'm hammering it now because I'm not going to wait. People are going to think like this, and bettors want to see overs. Bettors go to Vegas to bet overs. And so this line is going to be pushed up before that. I promise you, whatever the over under is right now, it's going to be higher by the time kickoff happens.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Unless there's a crazy weather situation or injuries or some shit. So if you like that over like I do, I would hit that today for sure.
Yeah.
Next game, we got Jags at Houston.
You got that right.
Jags, I got you, Chad. I got you, bro.
When you said that to me, I looked like a deer in the headlights. I was like, what?
I can't wait to watch the tape again and see the look on your face.
Oh, shit.
When I said
it was something like this. The fuck? I don't got shit. What the hell? I'm looking at titties over here. You have no idea. I act like I'm paying attention to you. I'm over here looking at titties.
We got Jags at Houston. I'm just going to tell you right now, okay? If you're betting on this game right now at this point in time, you're making a mistake, okay? There's too much uncertainty with this fucking game. Is Deshaun Watson going to play?
Jags at Houston? Jesus Christ. That's going to be one of the only opportunities for either of those teams to get a win.
No shit.
Yeah.
It is probably the two of the, if not the two worst teams in the league.
Yeah.
But but who cares? You can bet on worst team. You can bet on bad teams and win money.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is this is like the uncertainty bowl. There's so much like who knows what the Jaguars' new coach is going to do, Urban Meyer. Who knows what Trevor Lawrence is going to do in the NFL in his first game? We don't even know who's starting for Houston at quarterback. Why are you going to put money down on this game with all these fucking uncertainties?
What's the line?
2.5 to 3.
It's at Houston?
At Houston.
So they're giving that to Houston?
Yep. So Houston's a 3-point favorite. Yeah.
Just because 3 points at home, that's what you get. So it's like a pick 'em, essentially.
Yeah. They're saying those teams are evenly matched is basically what Vegas is saying.
Jesus, dude.
But the Deshaun Watson factor's got to be worth 3 or 4 points at least.
Yeah.
And so you don't know what's going on there.
He's definitely not playing. I don't think he's playing.
Probably not, but do we know that for sure?
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying you don't want to put down hundreds of dollars on this game and then fucking, Deshaun Watson's actually playing. That's not going to feel good, you know? So I'm staying away from that, and I think you're silly to touch it unless you're going to go with the over-under. The total in some places is 46, 45.5 in other places. You want to hit that under on that game?
That's going to be one of the least bet on games in NFL history.
Week 1, it will probably be the least bet.
There's going to be like 1,200 people at the game. It's going to be all family. They're like, is COVID still going on? They're like, no, actually, we can handle full capacity. This is all that wanted to come here. It was 1,200 people.
Dude, speaking of people in the stands, Chad, I was actually, when I was looking at these games, do you place a premium, even more so, on home teams in week 1? Because so many of these fucking fans haven't been able to go to a game. So you got the hype of a home. Exactly, man. You got the hype of a home game week 1 on top of we haven't done this in 2 years. They're going to be louder. It's going to be more crazy. It's going to be more raucous. So I almost wonder, they say being a home team is worth 3 points. Do you make it worth 3.5?
They're getting all juiced up in the parking lot, drinking.
Oh, yeah.
If it's a meth town, then yeah, I would go. Like Houston's kind of a meth town. You know what I mean? Those fans are going to be extra juiced up. So I'd go ahead. I'd tease that out to 10. I don't give a shit.
So
Tennessee,
far.
Memphis. Are they in Tennessee's in
Tennessee? I don't know. Where are they based at? Nashville. I think it's Nashville. Nashville. Yeah,
that's a meth town. That's a big time meth town. Meth and country music. They're 2 main exports in fucking Nashville.
So far, we've offended Tim Tebow fans, the entire city of Houston, and the entire city of Nashville. I love it.
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, I think people from Nashville would even agree that that's a meth town.
Perhaps.
Yeah, when you're born, you get a vaccine and like a fucking 8 ball of meth. Here you go. Now,
Careful, Chad.
Yeah.
If you say the V word, we might get pulled off of YouTube. We got to be very careful around here.
Yeah, they're watching us and our 600 monthly listeners and shit.
Goodness gracious.
A little bit more than that, but yeah.
Yeah, give us some credit.
Yeah, dude. Top 75 in 5 countries, right?
Absolutely, man.
They were killing it. New Zealand.
I mean, we don't want to stop the show to brag, but we are killing it in Hong Kong.
I mean, I don't know.
New Zealand, Canada.
We could barely walk down the streets in Hong Kong. I don't even want to go there because I want to, be able to sightsee. I don't want to get mobbed the whole time I'm there. You know what I mean? So staying away from Hong Kong for the next few years.
Exactly, man. They love us in Hong Kong. And Hong Kong, we love you too.
Yeah,
we appreciate
do.
you guys as listeners, for sure.
Too. I have no idea where the hell it is, but yeah, dude, fucking love it.
China, man.
China. I was going to say Tokyo.
Yeah, there you go. What?
Shit.
What?
I don't know.
That took me a second.
Yeah. I don't know. Shit.
We do love our listeners in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got Philadelphia and Atlanta. The line opened at Atlanta minus 3.5 and stayed there. Okay.
Atlanta minus 3.5?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Atlanta 3.5 point favorites over Philly.
Wow.
Yeah. Were you thinking Philly might be the favorite there?
Yeah. For some reason I was. I mean, I know Jalen Hurts isn't, great, but I don't know. I just feel like Philly's got a better defense. They should be able to. I think they'll win that game, but who the hell knows, man? It's week 1.
When I look at my notes here, you and I are kind of on the same page. I wouldn't go out and say that I think Philly's going to win the game. I think both teams have an equal chance of winning the game.
Yeah.
So if it's a coin flip and it's 50-50, I'm going to take the team that's getting 3.5 points. I talked earlier about how valuable that hook is, that extra half point on the 3. And so I'm going to take Philly getting the 3.5.
Yeah, I would too.
I do like Atlanta's quarterback situation a little bit better.
Matt Ryan?
Yeah. Over Hurts is just a little more unproven. I tell you what, though, man, I'm not going to let this influence my bet, okay? But did you see the route that Calvin Ridley ran in practice the other day?
Yeah, that dude's going to be an animal, man. Alabama's got a shit ton.
Did you see it, though?
No, I don't think so.
Dude, he put this cornerback.
When he came in and then back out?
What was that route?
I don't know.
What was that?
I don't know shit about
I've never seen a route like that in my life. That was impressive. And the cornerback just gave up on the play.
Yeah. No,
he was just like, I'm done.
He fell. Yeah.
I'm done.
Like, fuck this. Yeah.
I'm done. My jock strap is over there.
Yeah.
I'm done. Like,
I'm getting cut after this shit. I'm done.
Calvin Ridley is so impressive. And everybody's been talking this offseason about Julio Jones, deservedly so. But now you got Calvin Ridley as the uncontested true number 1 in Atlanta. I'm excited to see what he's going to do.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. They just drafted a guy too.
Yeah. They're revamping their entire fucking offense for sure. And so
they got to get a quarterback, man.
You don't like Matt Ryan?
I just don't think he's got. I mean, I think he had a good statistical season last year.
Sure.
I'm not sure about. I just feel like he's getting up there, man. You know what I mean? They got to start thinking about that position. They didn't draft a guy this year. Obviously they went wide receiver Kyle Pitts. Out of Florida. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, him and Ridley.
Wide receiver, tight end, combo, freak, athlete guy. So it's going to be interesting to see, but I feel like they should have addressed that this year. But I guess when you got a guy like Kyle Pitts up on the board, man, you got to take him when you can.
Yeah, for sure.
Being one of the best players. I don't know. Jury's still out. Obviously, you don't know how good he's going to be, but the intangibles, the measurables are off the charts, man. Yeah, that offense is pretty scary with those two. I don't think you want to be a defensive coordinator.
Nah, definitely not. Trying to defend those two. So Chad and I both like Philly plus 3.5 here. I wouldn't be surprised if that line moved down to 3.
Yeah.
And so if you agree with us and you like it, I would take it today before it moves too much. The next game, I think you're going to disagree with me on this, Chad.
Yeah.
And I think most of the public is going to disagree on me, but this is like one of the ones that I feel the strongest about right here. We got Pittsburgh at Buffalo.
Oh,
and
shit.
Buffalo opened at 6.5 as a 6.5 point favorite. Yeah. Okay, there's no like weather situation in Buffalo. Obviously, there's no like snow to worry about. So the home field advantage is just your standard home field advantage. Okay. Although we talked about
that is a meth town though. Buffalo is a definite meth town. That is a meth capital of the United States.
So those fans, I mean, you see it in the parking lot.
Yeah, dog. That's the only way you jump through a table is by doing meth. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're all like. Wow, those fans are crazy. It's like, nah, man, meth makes you crazy. Meth makes you do some fucked up shit.
They're actually really cool people when they're not doing meth.
Yeah. Well, they're coming down, they're straight. You know what I mean? But when they get juiced up on Sunday morning, smoking all that meth in the parking lot, it's just a big cloud. And that's why it's always so foggy in Buffalo. It's just meth clouds everywhere. I'm joking. I don't know.
Shit.
I'm pretty sure that's probably not true, but I'm not 100%. Yeah.
All right, listenership in Buffalo just tanked, folks.
Sorry, all 6,000 people in Buffalo. I apologize. Jesus Christ.
All right. So here's why I like this line on Pittsburgh.
You're going with Pittsburgh?
I think most of the public's going to be on Buffalo. They just looked good and they had that nice playoff run, right? Everybody loves their quarterback. The quarterback just got paid, Josh Allen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's talking about the Steelers. The experts, Chad, who are smarter than you and I, put this line at 6.5. Okay. One of two things happened. Either they got the line wrong. To go from 6.5 to 7 is a big fucking jump.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's that key number. So either they got that line wrong and the public is taking advantage of it, or they got that line right and that game's going to be closer than we think. I think it's that. I think that game's going to be closer than we think. And then since the game was placed at 6.5, the Steelers have added 3 current or former Pro Bowlers.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have done well.
They've done well in free agency. So it's 6.5, and then you add 3 fucking Pro Bowlers to the Steelers, and you're going to have that line go the opposite direction.
Yeah. I want to jump on that.
Absolutely. I like the Steelers a lot. Getting plus
always
7.
got a good defense. I feel like they'll match up well with that's going to be a good ass week 1 matchup.
That's going to be fun to watch, dude. Yeah. You could also tease this one if it's at 7. You could tease this one 6-point teaser.
Yeah.
Go through the 7 up to 13. I don't think that's a bad option. If you like 3-game teasers, you could tease it with the other 2 games that I mentioned earlier. Mm-hmm. I think that's a good option as well. And I mean, if you like Buffalo, if you disagree with me, there is rationale betting wise to tease it the other way and say Buffalo's just going to win outright. They just got to win by 1 point.
Yeah, there's a possibility they could even blow that open and win by a couple touchdowns, with that offense and this high power. It's possible.
I don't think so, man. I think
they'll keep it close because that defense has always been good,
For sure. But
Bush is back, Devin Bush, guy out of Michigan, one of the best linebackers I ever saw play at Michigan.
Yep.
Go sideline to sideline so well. He's going to be back and healthy. Had a injury last year that derailed his season, his season.
They got Schobert from the Jags, former Pro Bowl linebacker.
Used to be at the Browns. Yep. They didn't want to pay him.
Absolutely.
They got him for a 6th-round pick, too. And Jacksonville's paying half his salary this year.
That was a deal. I don't know.
Crazy.
Dude, the Steelers GM deserves some fucking credit for this offseason. They also got Melvin Ingram, 3-time Pro Bowler for $4 million.
Yeah.
How many NFL teams out there wouldn't want Melvin Ingram? Apparently none, but wouldn't want Melvin Ingram for $4 million. He's worth more than that to me.
Yeah, we're going to see, man, because that a big complaint was their offensive line last year. Good friend of the show that we had on, Zach Banner, he's going to be back and healthy. We feel like he's going to help them make a jump. He's definitely going to help solidify that right tackle position, which has been in flux for a while now.
And they lost to Castro. That was a huge loss, but they really quickly went out and got Trey Turner, and they replaced that hole with another Pro Bowler. And so, again, I'm going to repeat
this. If Zach can stay healthy, man, that could be a good offensive line.
Absolutely, man. They can be solid for sure. I'm a little worried about depth on that offensive line, but the starters, again, we go back to week 1. You don't worry about depth as much, right? But this is worth repeating again. The line was 6.5. The Steelers added 3 Pro Bowlers, and then the line moved to -7.
Mm-hmm.
That is sketchy to me. I'm loving the Steelers +7 right here. Loving it even more teased as well. The other thing is, and people might laugh and say that I'm putting too much emphasis on this. I will stand by this. There's turmoil in the Bills locker room right now. Okay. They're fucking taking shots at each other on Twitter about vaccines.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole Cole Beasley thing, and he's not the only one in that locker room talking about this on Twitter. And so that is going to divide a team.
Yeah, I think it could.
And football is the kind of team sport where you got to have each other's back.
Yeah.
You got to be playing. Maybe they prove me wrong week 1, but do not be surprised if this team the first couple weeks
they're going to blame
rusty.
it on Beasley if they do. They're like, that son of a bitch, he didn't get his vaccine. What an asshole. Doesn't care about the team. He only cares about himself. Can you believe this? He only cares about his own self. He doesn't want to die in 10 years. That's weird. What a weirdo.
How does careful, Chad.
We could be AFC North champs.
Careful, Chad. If you start making jokes about the V word, we might get pulled from YouTube again.
I'll bet AFC East. Yeah, we could. But hopefully they don't watch this whole episode. They're going to have to go 40 minutes deep to find that shit.
Oh, you kidding me? They got algorithms and shit. They got recording software.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah. Well, I would say everybody should, totally get the vaccine. I'm sure it's completely healthy. Yeah, totally do it. I did it.
By the way, on a serious note, if you are curious more about the V topic, as I'm going to call it, because that word is essentially censored in many ways, you can check out our interview with Ken Ruckers, former Green Bay Packer Hall of Famer, who told us a story about the V word and his wife That is the episode that was pulled from YouTube. If you're not familiar with the story we're talking about, but it is still on iTunes, Spotify, etc.
John Stockton, we talked about it with him last week as well.
Absolutely. It's an important topic right now, and it does overlap with sports quite a bit. Again, I honestly think that this Buffalo Bills locker room, I don't know it for a fact, but I would not be surprised if that locker room is divided, and that's not going to help you week one.
Yeah.
You need all the fucking camaraderie you can get. You don't want to be divided going into week one.
Especially going up against a tough team like Pittsburgh, man. He's been battle tested, been through the ringer, So, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Next up, we got 2 more before we take a little break here. Minnesota at Cincy. Vikings on the road, 3.5 point favorites. The line really hasn't moved a lot at all, but if you go to Oddsshark, you can see some +3s hanging out there. So this is one of those situations. I know I keep repeating myself, but it's too important.
I'll take Cincy with that, man.
Yeah, that's where I'm thinking too, man. That's exactly what I thought. Again, this is very much like that Philly-Atlanta situation to me, where it's like either team could win the game.
I don't think anybody's going to watch that game. There's going to be 2,400 people at that game.
Dude, Joe Burrow, though.
Yeah.
The Joe Burrow factor.
Is that Cincinnati?
At Cincinnati, yeah. For sure.
There'll be 2,500 people there, my bad.
Those fans are going to be fired up. I hear you. When I'm picking the games on TV, that's not going to be on the top fucking 8 of my list. But those fans are going to be fired up for Joe Burrow for sure. But again, Oddsshark has some +3s out there. So if you're a Vikings fan, hit that +3. And if you're a Bengals better, hit the +3.5.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised to see some movement before kickoff in that game as well.
Yeah.
But the Bengals defense is so bad, bro. The Bengals defense, they give up 5.1 yards a carry last year.
Yeah, same thing. Just run the ball, man.
Just like we said about Dallas.
Dalvin Cook.
And who does Vikings have as running back? One of the top 5 running backs in the league.
Yeah, he's going to get 30 carries.
Ooh, and why wouldn't you?
Yeah, for sure.
Why wouldn't you? So that's the only thing that scares me. I'm still gonna bet Cincy here +3.5. Just because I'm getting that hook and I love it.
Yeah,
but that does scare me a little bit. Vikings gave up 4.6 yards a carry last year. A little better, but not that great either. They've got some concerns on defense as well.
Maybe bet the over in that game as well.
Dude, we're thinking alike. I like it.
For sure.
I like it for sure. And the last game here before we take a little break, San Francisco at Detroit. The line opened at -7.5. San Francisco on the road as 7.5 point favorites against the Lions.
7.5. Wow.
Yeah, to me, that number just seems perfect. It really is right where in my opinion, right where that number should be.
For real?
Yeah, I do, man. I do. I think.
Dude, I'm gonna take the Lions.
No shit at 7.5.
Yeah, I mean, I just think first game, Dan Campbell, guys. Speaking of meth, you know what I'm saying, like. That dude's probably more into coke. I don't know, but I think he'll be fired up. And I would be honest, man, I know you're a big Niners fan, but I'm just not confident with their quarterback situation right now. If Trey Lance was starting, maybe I would be a little bit more confident.
You're down on Jimmy.
I don't think Jimmy is the guy, dude. I think he's going. I think I can see him starting maybe the first 4 games. We'll have to talk after the break and see who their first 4 games are against.
Yeah,
but if he's 2-2 or 1-3. I can see them pulling the hook early, man, and I don't blame them.
49ers schedule the first 4 games is pretty soft. But in terms of this matchup, you got to remember, too, the Lions don't have Matthew Stafford anymore. They got Jared Goff, and the 49ers own Jared Goff.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Goff, but yeah.
And so Jimmy versus Goff, if you're going to talk about the quarterbacks, Jimmy versus Goff, Jimmy has done well against Goff these last couple of years. Not that they're playing against each other directly, but I just mean when they're leading their teams. And so I think that number, I think the 49ers win by a touchdown. But that 7.5 scares me a little bit. I'm not feeling super, super confident about it. I also think the 49ers have a way better coaching matchup. I think week 1, you need to put more emphasis on who has a better coach.
Yeah.
And Kyle Shanahan versus Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
That dude, watching his press conferences, man, I got no confidence in that guy as a leader.
Campbell?
Whatsoever, correct.
Really?
Whatsoever. And
a lot of guys like that, they're so bombastic, aren't very good X and O guys. So they try to make it up for it with the pomp and circumstance and shit.
Dude, you're dead on. And I wonder if it's a little bit of smoke and mirrors with him.
Yeah, it could be.
For sure. Like a Mike Singletary type head coach.
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
Yeah,
for sure.
that's so again, 7.5.
You're taking that. That's a big line.
Now here's what I love though. If that number's at 7.5 and I do a 6.5 point teaser and then I make that San Francisco -1, I don't see the 49ers losing that game. There's no way they're going to fucking lose that game week 1 unless there's some injuries between now and week 1. No chance, even on the road. In fact, out of all the games on the schedule, this is my pick for your survivor pools where you've got to pick one team that They can't lose or else you're done with your pool. And tell me if you disagree, Chad. Any other games on the schedule? Do you trust the 49ers more on the road against the Lions, or do you trust Buffalo more against Pittsburgh? Just got to win.
What was the first one? The 49ers?
49ers on the road against the Lions just to win?
Yeah, I trust that. Yeah, way more.
Yeah, I think that's the pick for the survivor pools. I really do. How about the Rams -7? We're going to get to this later. -7 against Chicago. That could also be your survivor pool pick as well. Again, though, there's some uncertainty. You don't know shit about Fields, about Justin Fields. So do you want to be putting your survivor life on the line against a big question mark? Would anybody be surprised? I know you don't like Fields because he's Ohio State, but would you be shocked if he came out and threw 3 or 4 touchdowns?
No, not at all.
I don't think
he's probably going to be pretty good, actually.
Yeah. So it's tough to put your whole survivor life on a game like that, a primetime game. We're going to talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
All right, our last game that we're going to talk about on this episode, and don't worry, we're going to be talking about the rest of the week 1 games we didn't cover next week, but the last game for today is that Sunday night football game, Chicago at the Rams.
Man. There's a lot of good games week 1, man. I'm parking myself on the couch. I'm not doing nothing.
Yeah, dude, that's going to be so. I'm going to be at a sports book in Vegas. I'm going to be doing a lot, but I cannot wait, man. Yeah, Chicago at Rams. What are your thoughts on this game, Chad? For me, it's to stay away because it's -7.
Yeah, I think I feel you on that. They got the Rams -7.
Mm-hmm. Rams are 7-point favorites.
I would take Chicago with that. I know the quarterback situation, we know it's a little bit of an unknown, but I always feel like the Rams are a little overrated. I know they had a good year a couple of years ago. Disappointing season last year, even though they had a decent record, I just don't. I know Matthew Stafford's pretty good. I don't think that he's going to be the savior that everyone expects him to be. Mm-hmm. I can still see San Francisco, if they can get Trey Lance in there, I can still see them winning that division. That's going to be one of the toughest divisions in football.
NFC West, yeah.
Yeah, and so it'll be interesting, man. And I just love Chicago's defense, man. Khalil Mack is one of my favorite players in the NFL. Watching that dude, when you watch Chicago's defense, you have to watch him every single play, man, because he is a playmaker.
Yeah.
That dude is unbelievable. So electric. I love watching that guy play, man. So that's going to be an awesome matchup, man. You got Aaron Donald on one side. You got Khalil Mack on the other side defensively. What's the over or under on that? Do we have that in here?
Not sure what the over
I would bet the under, honestly, though, man, because I know a lot of people are probably going to bet with Matthew Stafford there in L.A. and everything like that. They're thinking, oh, shit, they're going to be gangbusters, man. They're going to, put up 40 points a game or something like that. I don't think that's going to be necessarily the case, man. I think Chicago's got a good defense, led by Khalil Mack. And I think Chicago's will be much improved. I can see them being one of those teams. I know Green Bay was so good last year. They got the MVP, but they're going to be obviously there might be some unknowns with Aaron Rodgers and everything like that this year. So it's going to be interesting to see how they come together, if they can put all that stuff aside and still maintain a good season and everything. But I can see Chicago sneaking up on some people and being a really good team this year.
Yeah, to answer your question, Chad, the over-under is set at 45. If you agree with Chad, do you still think low scoring?
45, so that's like 24 or 21, something like that.
Sure, yeah.
So, oh, shit, man.
It's
I would still, that's pretty, I'm surprised it's so low. I would think it'd be like in the 50 or 51.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is out of respect for that Chicago defense.
Yeah, that must be.
It is where it is.
I would still take the under, man. I still would. It's going to be the first game with Matthew Stafford in there.
Mm-hmm.
You got to work some kinks out. I think the Chicago defense is going to be, defense travels, man. So we're going to see.
Now, if you agree with Chad and you like the under, I don't really have a strong opinion on the over-under here. If you agree with him, though, wait it out. Because what we historically see with Sunday night games is these over-unders get bet up because a lot of your bettors win money on the early games and then they place their money on the primetime games.
Yeah.
Or they're trying to bury them or dig themselves out of a hole.
Yeah.
And they end up betting on those late games. And then by kickoff, I wouldn't be surprised if this was up to 47 or something, barring some crazy weather situation. So if you like the over, hit it today. If you like the under, wait it out till right before kickoff, I would say.
Yeah, man. What a great week for opening week of games, man. We got some other games we're going to talk about next week. We got Seattle and Indy, LA, our guy Austin Eckler going against the Washington football team. Got the Jets and the Panthers, Browns and the Chiefs is going to be an interesting game. Packers, Saints, Dolphins, Pats, Broncos, Giants. This is going to be a great week, man.
And Baltimore at Vegas, their first time in that stadium with fans in that stadium. That's going to be a lot of fun too, man.
That's going to be interesting. It's going to be really, really exciting, man. What a great week. What an awesome. And then we can't even forget about Monday. Yeah, like we said, Monday night, Baltimore and Vegas. That's going to be a good game as well. We're going to talk about those games next week. But before we go, I want to tell you a little bit about BetterHelp one more time. bets. Make sure you go to betterhelp.com. That's HELP.com /DNP. And you're going to get 10% off your first month. It's no longer taboo to talk about mental health. You got to take care of that. You got to go seek some help. And why not go to BetterHelp? You can do this online. You don't have to go. That's one of the things I will say I don't like about my therapist is having to go there all the time. It's 15, 20 minutes there, 15, 20 minutes back. You're going through BetterHelp. You can do all that at your own convenience at home. You can eat some Cheetos the whole time,
Yeah, man. If you're sitting there thinking, do I need therapy? The answer is yes, because we all benefit from therapy. So if you're thinking about it, yes, the answer is yes. Check it out. Save yourself 10%. You don't even have to leave the house. It's really, really a good deal and worth looking into.
Yeah, I would encourage people to just try it out for 1 month and see how it goes. You buy yourself new shoes, you buy yourself new clothes, you buy yourself some new electronics, video games, whatever y'all are into and stuff. Try out some therapy, man, because that's something you're gonna see a lot of good, positive things coming from all aspects of your life, man. It's going to make you happier. It's going to make you healthier. Your relationships are going to be better. The way you treat people is going to be better. The way people treat you is going to be better. Couldn't recommend therapy more highly, man. It's been one of the greatest things I've ever done in my life. So make sure you go to BetterHelp. That's HELP.com /DNP. And you can get 10% off your first month. It's an awesome deal, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then also one time before we go, let's talk about Oddsshark, man. This is the website where we've been using this whole episode to come up with to show everybody these lines and everything.
There, bam.
Yeah, they're a go-to resource. You want to make sure you go to Oddsshark, man, because you can shop around. You don't want to just go and take the first number you see or be married to a certain site, whether that's Bovada, whoever. You know what I mean? You don't want to just be going to one site because sometimes there's better numbers available on other sites. So you want to go to Oddsshark and you want to compare and contrast where you can get that best number. So Oddsshark is your source for the latest odds from leading authorities, expert editorial content, and detailed matchup picks. They don't just have numbers, folks. They got editorial content on there. You can read about some of this stuff. You want to get into boxing, or maybe there's a sporting event that you don't have that much knowledge about. You want to learn a little bit more about it before you place a bet. Go to Oddsshark. Chances are they've got a editorial about that particular game or match that you're looking into. If you're looking for statistics and trends for an upcoming game, Oddsshark has that too, and it's great. In-depth, expert analysis, stats, numbers, and trends to help you make the sharp game day picks. Whether you want to check out tonight's football odds, this week's hockey or basketball trends, or anything in between, head over to Oddsshark and start thinking like a shark today. That's ODDSSHARK.com. Go-to resource. You got to check them out. You'd be a fool to place a bet and not go to Oddsshark.
Especially between now and the start of week 1 as these lines are going to continue to move.
Also, dude, it's about to be one of the best times for sports, man. We got college football starting up here soon. We got NFL starting up here soon. I got an email yesterday that I've already paid my first installment for the Sunday NFL ticket, man. That's just like as much as an Oldsmobile, motherfucker. God,
no joke.
You can buy 2 Oldsmobiles with as much as it costs for a Sunday ticket.
And it goes up every year.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And I'm still going to pay this shit.
You got it.
Trying to get it as a tax write-off
like a drug
this
addict.
year.
You can't. Oh, nice. Good call.
I'm trying to get it as a tax write-off this year. I got to start paying taxes first, though. But that's a whole nother show. I'm playing. Am I? Yeah. But yeah, so make sure you go to Oddsshark, BetterHelp, HELP.com /DNP. Check us out on social media. We're always at DNP-CD Sports on every platform. Also, make sure you check out hotpiemedia.com. You can check out all of our past episodes. You'll check out some of the other awesome content that Hot Pie Media has.
Our newsletter as well.
Yeah, we got to push that. Our newsletter, we want to check that out. That's on hotpiemedia.com. Like I said, all of our past episodes as well.
And if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. We just got a new channel.
Our
brand
own channel.
New. So you see the number of subscribers is really low. That's because we just had to start our channel over.
Yeah.
We would love a subscribe from you. Give us a little thumbs up as well.
Yeah. Tell your friends about the show. Subscribe on all the platforms that you listen to, iTunes, Spotify, all that stuff. Check us out on social media. Give us a follow. We're always at DNP-CD Sports on every platform. This is a fun week, man. Can't wait. Best time of the year, man. End of the summer, you get to enjoy a little bit more of the summer, and then your gift for the end of the summer, even though you're a little sad, summer's ending, you get NFL football, you get college football.
Well, it's beautiful. Awesome. And if you're down here in Texas like we are, Chad, the summer's ending, the horrible heat is ending, and you got football to look forward to. It's a beautiful time.
Oh, it's a great time, man.
Yeah, so for sure.
We appreciate everybody listening, everybody watching. Please give us a thumbs up, follow, subscribe, tell your friends. We're at DNP-CD Sports. For Tony, I am Chad. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
Thanks for listening. You can find more episodes and all of our other Hot Pie Media originals baked fresh daily at our home online at hotpiemedia.com, the Hot Pie Media YouTube channel, or wherever you listen to podcasts.